saying that, oh, you treat my son bad. Now, this reminds me, imagine you being on the playing ground, yeah? And you're having a bad time. You're having a bad time at school. Kids are bullying you, taking away your lunch money, doing whatever. Now, your mom comes in school trying to say, oh, don't do that to my son. I love my son. Don't do. This is how I feel when I heard that story about. Now, when he said that reminded me of my middle child. Like, she can't concentrate on nothing. And for a professional keeper to be admitting that he can't concentrate for 90 minutes, that's what I'm saying. This is signs of ADHD, man. I'm sorry. What up, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Robz Arsenal Recap, and on this channel I will walk you through to the latest Arsenal news of the day. So as you can see, or as you have heard about the Ramsdale father's interview, right? And I know that many of us have been criticizing, many of us have our own individual opinions, but I want to get into someone first. I want to get into another person before I get into Ramsdale and his dad. Now, this person has been getting on my last nerve, right? Because he's not a good coach, he's not a good manager, and I believe that he's got too much to say at times, or he's got his opinion, he wants to make his opinion heard a lot of recent. And I don't think he deserved to even criticize or even say anything about any player, especially a manager. Now, the person I want to talk about is the hypocrite called Gareth Southgate. So I know that might sound a bit harsh, but hear me out. We see that Harry Maguire, for the longest time has not been playing for Man United. He's been on their substitute, and Ten Hag didn't want to play him for a very long time. I believe the only reason he's playing him now because it's convenient for Ten Hag. It's convenient for United. Perhaps there's an argument between Varane and Ten Hag why Varane isn't in the team. We also see that Martinez is injured. So these are the reasons why Maguire came back into the team. But before Maguire came back, he was out for the longest time. And this is it, that Southgate was picking Maguire day in, day out. So this is what Southgate had to say about the player. He's still battling to be number one at Arsenal, and his profile and the way he can use the ball with his feet, we like. We think that's important, but there's a reality as a keeper. If we get to March and he's still 6 months without playing regularly, then I'm never going to promise things that I couldn't guarantee delivering. He knows that. He's perfectly realistic about that. Now, this wasn't an article from today. This was from 4 days ago, but this is what I'm saying with these guys. And so the media, we have to keep an eye on the media, because the media right now is trying to stir things at Arsenal. They see things are going well and they're trying to stir things. Don't forget, as Arsenal fans, we can't forget that these media people in the media that write these stories, they support football teams as well. It could be Chelsea fan, it could be Man United fan, it could be Man City fans, it could be Newcastle. And their job now as a fan is like a coincide with being a reporter, to cause trouble and to get the headlines. So we have to understand that these bloggers, these writers, it's their best interest to get a story. So we don't want to get too carried away with this article, but I see that he's got too much to say on Ramsdale. Now, I understand he's the manager. I understand that, yes, he has to say his honest opinion, but why isn't it going across the board? Maguire did not deserve to be in the England national team for months now, and he's still been playing Maguire. So he's saying that if he's not playing in the first team, then he can't really promise him a chance in the England first team, and we have to be realistic as goalkeepers. I understand that keepers have to play with confidence. Yeah, I get that. But so does midfielders, so does strikers, so does defenders. And Maguire keep on giving away own goals. Maguire gives away own goals when he plays for Man United previously, leading up to previous international matches, and he still chose Maguire. Maguire was down the pecking order, and he still chose him. So I don't see why he's getting involved. Why he's got something to say about Ramsdale. Now, I don't believe England will never win a big competition with this guy in charge, and these are the reasons why. Pickford is a very good shot stopper, but he's complimenting Ramsdale on the way he plays. Now, if you're gonna choose Maguire because of you trust him as a player and he's good for you, choose Ramsdale on the same basis. Choose Ramsdale on the same basis. Don't be getting involved with these headlines, with these stories saying, oh, I can't play him if this and that. You should keep the same energy when it comes down to Maguire. That's why I believe that you, Gareth Southgate, you're a hypocrite for saying that. You can't be having one standard for Maguire and then having another for Ramsdale because it suits you. Right, it suits you and it suits and it suits your narrative that you're trying to portray. So I would want this guy not to be England manager, because it's not that I'm a big England fan in the first place, but he's got too much to say and he's not man enough. I don't think he's got that the cojones to make certain decisions. You see, my manager Arteta, he's got the gall, he's got the grit. He doesn't care about rattling feathers. He's gonna make the big decisions. Now let's get over to Ramsdale and his dad. In an interview with the Hypocrite Squad podcast, which included input from former Arsenal striker Kevin Campbell, Ramsdale Sr. said, "We did not have a clue Ramsdale was going to be dropped. I didn't have a clue. Our family didn't have a clue. Aaron did not have a clue. Aaron didn't have a clue that he was not going to be carrying on playing. All of a sudden, he's not been playing." Now, just to stick a pin right there, I don't know if it's me or something might be wrong with me, but all of a sudden I'm seeing loads of different family members getting involved in football. Like, you see Harry Maguire's mom saying that, "Oh, you treat my son bad." Now this reminds me, imagine you being on the playing ground, yeah, and you're having a bad time. You're having a bad time at school. Kids are bullying you, taking away your lunch money, doing whatever. Now your mom comes in school trying to say, "Oh, don't do that to my son. I love my son. Don't do." This is how I feel when I heard that story about Maguire. Now, it may look on the mother's hand, yeah, she's gonna do what she has to do because obviously it's her son. But there comes the point when you have to sit down your mom and say, "Listen, don't be getting involved in my thing. You're making me look moist. You're making me look bad." Right? So this is what I believe. This is the same thing with Ramsdale. Now, I know that Ramsdale has spoken to his dad because previously his dad came out and said something, and he said straight that, "Listen, Dad, you're wrong for doing that. Don't do that again." But it's like a pot calling the kettle black, because Ramsdale is the same way. In a recent interview with Ian Wright, this guy said that he can't concentrate for 90 minutes. Our ex number one keeper said he can't concentrate for 9 minutes. So they're both the same way. Him and his dad, it's like they speak whatever on their mind. They can't contain, they can't control their emotion. They haven't got any filter. And for me, this reminds me of a person having ADHD. He's having ADHD because if you can't concentrate for 90 minutes and you're a professional football keeper, then something must be wrong with you, mate. I'm sorry, something is wrong. So oftentimes we fans criticize Arteta for this particular reason, and I believe that we criticize Arteta because Ramsdale is English. No one didn't have much to say when Ramsdale came in and kicked Raya out the team. So I believe that we as Arsenal fans, sometimes we are biased based on the person's background, where they're from, their history, and this is one of those cases where I believe that especially the media. This is what I'm saying. We can't listen to the media totally because the media is gonna pay. Look at Maguire. I remember a few weeks ago, they've been saying that, oh, they need the media. Most of the media has been criticizing Ten Hag because Ten Hag's been having bad results and saying that he dropped Harry Maguire. Once again, because he's English. If Ten Hag had done that to any other player, Martial, they wouldn't have coming up with the same narrative. But because he's English, so this is what I'm saying. The English media is so biased. The referee bias. It's across the board. It's just annoying to see these stories because once again, yes, some people might have felt bad when Leno got dropped when Ramsdale came in, but this is like DEFCON. Everyone's getting DEFCON and Arteta and Arsenal because he dropped Raya, because he dropped Ramsdale for Raya, and I can't understand it. If you believe in your manager, if you believe in your club, it's time to back him. It's time to back him. Now understand that yes, you might have certain feelings, attachment to Ramsdale. I do. I love the way Ramsdale is aggressive. I love the way he plays. I love the way he talks. I love the way he jeers on the fans. He troubles on the fans. I love all that about him. But at the end of the day, it comes down to performance. It comes down to results. It comes down to trusting in the manager. And I trust Mikel Arteta to get David Ryan, because so far Yes, David Raya hasn't had the best start, but I've seen what he's trying to do. I see he plays with bravery, and even though he makes mistakes, he's still carrying on. He's still trying to do what the manager wants from him. But Ramsdale, on the other hand, whenever he makes a mistake, it's like it's a deer in the headlights. He got confused. He gets confused. Start kicking the ball away. Start getting nervous. He start getting sweaty. You can see it from the camera angles. You can see that this guy is so uncomfortable playing the way Arteta wants him to play. So, for me, I am happy with Raya. I'm sad for Ramsdale, but this is the professional game. This is the professional game. You're going to get dropped. You're going to get cut if you're not playing the way the manager wants you to play. So going further down, Ramsdale dad said, you just have to look at it personally. And I'm probably saying too much. Once again, I'm saying that this guy, he hasn't got no filter. Aaron is going to be the cup keeper, and David Raya is going to be the main man unless something happens, an injury or a sending off. And Aaron's got to live with that, and he is living with that even though he's not been told it by anybody. So once again, he's speaking too much, and I know the Arteta, when he sees this, he's gonna be angry. He's gonna be mad. He's gonna be on up. Trust me, he's gonna be upset, because one thing Arteta doesn't like is rats, right? And I say rats because he hates leaks. If we remember a few seasons ago, he was talking about there's a few leaks in the camp. He literally came out and says that. And these times when Ozil was in there, Aubameyang was in there, and he was basically upsetting these players. And he said that, listen, someone is bringing out information. He's asking the media, how do you know about this information? This was a private held information. Private held between the players and people and the staff and people in the club. So how do you know? And this is the same thing where this guy, he's not even hiding it. He coming on camera talking all these things. So I know Arteta is going to be mad. He goes on to say, squad evolve all the time. Nobody is going to be there forever. David Raya has not pulled up tree so far. Let's say he's not going to. Even though the way it's been done, it's in my eyes, it's been wrong. Now that's your opinion, mate, and you have to have that opinion because obviously he's your son. But once again, professional football, there's no feelings, there's no emotion. It's only hard truth in professional football. If you're not cutting the standards, mate, you're gonna get chucked to the curb. And this is it, that if he's an Arsenal fan, and if it was another player that's messing up or was messing up like Ramsdale was, or not fulfilling the potential he has, or not living up to the standard of the manager, or the manager sees in him, he'll be the first to criticize that player. But because this is his son, he has to defend him. So this is what I'm saying, that I understand that he's speaking from emotion, but we as fans, we as people that's defending the club, that's want to see the best for the club, we have to see both sides of the fence. We have to evaluate the situation, observe it from an objective point of view, and see what's best for the club. So far, Raya has been best. Playing for Brentford, we see that he's one of the best goalkeepers in the league. Coming at Arsenal, he's been doing very well. He made a few mistakes, but so did Ramsdale. Ramsdale made lots of mistakes, and from his own admission, he can't concentrate for 90 minutes. If you admitted that you can't concentrate for 90 minutes, man, what am I going to do with you? Now, when he said that, straight something that came to my mind. I've got 3 kids. Now, one of them, the middle one, she's like, if you snap your fingers, is like her attention span is so short. It's very short. Now, when he said that reminded me of my middle child. Like, she can't concentrate on nothing. And for a professional keeper to be admitting that he can't concentrate for 90 minutes, that's what I'm saying. This is signs of ADHD, man. I'm sorry. I don't know if he's properly diagnosed. I'm going to be the first one to diagnose him. This guy's got ADHD. Because you're a professional. You've been training from you was about 8 years old. You've been in non-league, you've been Premier League clubs, you've been keeping clubs up in the Premier League, you've been fighting, and you can't keep concentrating for 90 minutes. You're about 26, 27 years old, mate. Probably add a few years onto his age. He's probably 25. But still, you're very old and you can't keep concentration for 90 minutes. You feel like you have to interact with fans to keep concentration. Now, this is a thing where I don't want to go too hard at him, because if you find a way to play efficiently, I'm all for that. But then, on the other hand, by you jeering the fans unnecessarily, that might turn the game on its head. I know we all remember this with Arteta. We were at Liverpool. We were going so well. We were playing so well. Drawing, not having the best of matches, but not having the worst. Then Arteta got angry at Klopp. trying to rile up the fans, and boy, did it backfire. We remember that we got spanked by Liverpool, and the reason why I know it backfired, because after that, it was at Liverpool's home ground. You can hear the crowd getting angry. You can see the players getting angry, and after that, that's when they started to score goals and basically slapped us. And it all started because of Arteta, his emotional outbursts. Now, this is the same way Ramsdale is, and we can't have that right now, because Arteta is transitioning the team from an emotional state. Because you see, when Xhaka was in the team, he's very emotional. We're getting red cards, yellow cards. Arteta started to curb him. It's the same thing with the whole team. Arteta is trying to curb the team into a less emotional team and more strategic and more in control with our decisions. And you can't have in your keeper the person that the transition starts with to be that emotional. Aaron lost that smile, and it's difficult to see him there. He said, we all keep saying you need to keep smiling, and at the moment in time, we haven't got that smile in him. David Raya is a great goalkeeper, and it's not his fault. He's just come in as a goalkeeper. It's just like when Aaron came in and Bert Leno was there. Now that's what I'm saying. We have to take this with a pinch of salt, because Ramsdale dad is admitting that, listen, it's not Raya's fault, and it's the same thing happened to Ramsdale. So he's trying to balance it, but once again, his emotional is getting the better of him. But at least he's trying to balance the situation. He says that Aaron says Raya is a lovely guy and he works hard with him. Aaron is trying to help in as much as he can to settle in with the squad. It's possible the way it's been done, not knowing the reason why. My only problem is when I spoke to Mr. Arteta on the phone before he signed Aaron, he said he wanted Aaron. But now David Raya is back on the market and he had David Raya. He added. Now, for me, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's business, mate. It's just business. Like, I don't know how he can't. Well, I can understand why he can't understand, because once again, it's his son. But that's just business. You want someone, yeah? You 100% want someone. Now, it's like having the girl of your dreams, right? And you move to her and she's not having it. She's not having it. She's like, nah, mate, you're a bit ugly right now. You get me? Because you ain't got whatever it is you need to get a shape up. You need to start brushing your teeth. Whatever reason, she's not having it. But then you're not going to be alone forever. You're going to find someone else. Now, when you find out someone else, and this is it, that football isn't loyal. People are loyal, but football don't allow you to be loyal, because it's a result-based game and a trophy-based game. So if Arteta be loyal to Ramsdale, saying that, listen, you stick with me through thick and thin, you're my ride and die, or things like that, then he's going to get the sack, because Ramsdale is going to be underperforming. Now, personally, you can do that. You can ride and say, listen, man, you've been with me through thick and thin. We're going to be together forever. No one's going to be kicking you out in terms of your performance or whatever. But when it comes down to football terms, he's going to get the sack. So Arteta has to be looking out for his own best interest. So this is it, that the beautiful girl came by and I said, I'm available. I just broke up with my boyfriend. Arteta's like, yeah, I'll have that. And I can't blame Arteta, because he's the one that's going to get sacked if he doesn't produce results, if he doesn't produce good performances. So he went down to say, ask what Raya's arrival means for his son's future at Arsenal. Ramsdale further added, I don't know. Aaron has just signed a new deal with 3 or 4 years with an option for 12 months. This is honest. This is honestly truthful. I'm not spinning the yam. This is purely me. Why would you extend a goalkeeper or a player's contract and then 2 or 3 months later make a move for someone else? Once again, man, business. He's trying to retain the value of Ramsdale. He's just a piece of meat to Arteta. He's just a piece of meat to the club. And unfortunately, that's the way it is, right? I work in construction, and I'm telling you, as soon as my bosses, they complete the contract or completed the work, what we're doing, they're just gonna see you later, mate, because I haven't got a contract with them. I was gonna say see you later, mate. Ramsdale is lucky he's got a contract, so if they get rid of him, they're gonna have to pay him out. Or if they he can basically do what Ozil done, sit on the money. But obviously, if you love the game, if you want to play the game, you're not gonna do that like what Ozil did. But that's an option, I'm saying. But like people like me, my boss say, listen, mate, that's it. Your work is done. It's time to hit the road, Jack. Go find something else. And now I have to be calling up, mate. Are you looking for any electrician, mate? Or what's going? I'm calling up looking for work. That's the world. That's reality. He's talking about reality, but no, it wasn't him. It was Southgate, but a guy that doesn't live in the real world talking about reality. Ironic, but that's just the reality of the world. When you're used and abused, you go find something else. I don't see what industry that doesn't happen to. If you're not performing well, you're just going to have to hit the road and find something else. So this is it that I understand Ramsdale's father's frustration. I understand some fans' frustration with Raya, because Raya has been underperforming as of late, right? We bought him expecting him to be way better than Ramsdale, but Raya has not been pulling up trees, as Ramsdale's dad said. That's truthful. But an average, or if you exclude those games that Raya has been performing recently, then you give him time to bed in. Give him some time to bed in and say that it's a new system, it's a new formation, it's new teammates. Give him some time, and then I'm telling you, he's going to be better than Ramsdale. Because for me, some of the things that he's been doing, he's already better than Ramsdale. He's so comfortable on the ball. This guy could make 10 mistakes in the match. He's still going to try. He's still going to be brave. And I love this because that shows courage. And I want my players to play with courage. I don't want them to play as soon as they make a mistake, they start playing safe. I hate that. I hate that in players. Continue to play your game. Be bold, be brave. If you get slapped 10-0, at least you'll be true to who you are. Stay true to who you are. So that's the video, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. And make sure you share with your friends and your families. Yeah. That's not a punt. That's not a punt on Ramsdale, mate. But catch you in the next video, guys. Good.